like for you to do is, now that we've done that, just to simplify the process, I want you to go down, and again, this will just simplify our overall process. This will, let's see if we get, well, in order to do this quickly, it's going to be easier to just do, I think with the drums, all your drums would probably look like mine, right? All cut up like this. What I'd like for you to do is go to the selector tool and click in the first group of drums, go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is select all. You remember that command? After you've done that, hit Command F. You're going to do a batch fade. After the batch fade is set up, you can go ahead and hit OK. Go down and do the next group. I'm sorry, before you do that, let's just do this. It's, which one is it? Shift Option 3. While you're still highlighted, Shift Option 3. Please write this down in your notes. Shift plus Option plus the number 3 is consolidate, what we call consolidate the track or the clip. I guess you can call it consolidate clip, really, because it depends on what you end up doing or which ones you select. What consolidating does is it takes all of those slices and it heals them back into one audio file. So that's Shift plus Option plus the number 3. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Once you've done that, go to the next set of drums, do a 1, 2, 3 click, do the batch fade, and do a consolidate real quickly so they're all healed in one big giant group. Oh, actually, hold on. For some of you, I'm sorry, I forgot this because mine's not this way. For some of you, in the next group, I might have, it might look like this. So real quick, hold Option, and flip everybody to waveform view so no one's in warp anymore. Because when you deactivated your Elastic Audio plugin, you were in warp, and when you deactivated it, you don't see any warp markers anymore, which means you don't have access to certain things. So I want you to go and flip back to waveform view. Oh, you just joined us, right? Yeah. It's okay. Hold Option, deactivate Elastic Audio with a little, what's that little antenna looking thing there? Hit None, top, and hit Commit. Okay, it'll cycle. Yeah, you deactivated it. Yep. And then after you deactivate it, hold Option to switch everybody to waveform. And then the reason these are gray, switch to the mix window real quick. Oh, okay. I think for some reason your outputs, hold Option again. Your outputs got mixed up. I don't know why, but click the output where it says 1, 2. Select 1, 2 again on that group at the top.
The very first.
No, hold on. Yeah, the very first one. Yeah, it's not showing all. Put out a bar to the dynamics maybe. Sorry, I think maybe it might be something in the item. Let me just check your item.
Oh, yeah, I didn't set up our items.
Oh, okay. If you just delete them all, hit default, and then go back and hit Option. Yeah, there you go. Clear, and then just hit OK. Yeah, and then hit default, and then hit OK. Yep. And then hold Option again and take them all back to output 1, 2. Shoot, we're gonna have to look at that then. I won't use those for that. If you can use the next group, the one that's not dead, I'm not sure why that would be, but we'll get that fixed. Okay, so everybody's consolidated the drums. Everybody's gone through and consolidated drums, group 1 and group 2. So the reason we do this, a lot of times when we consolidate, there's 2 reasons we might consolidate. One is just to make that file accessible. You saw how many slices there were because it was being looped. Now all of a sudden we can start working with this in a larger, broader form. Well, one of the things that you guys set up, so your next hotkey I want you to write down is Command 2. So it's Command plus the number 2. This is going to show us the session setup. So you can just write there, session setup window. Well, the cool part about how this is done is when you consolidate the track, remember how I mentioned that like all your audio when it's being recorded, like it records a piece of audio and then when you go and slice it up, it doesn't slice it up in the file folder. Instead what it does is it leaves it whole and it indexes those slices for the window. Well, that takes a lot of DSP. So what we do a lot of times is when we're done doing all these edits and cutting everything up, we'll heal them all by fading them. We'll consolidate them so that there's less DSP work, because now what it'll do is it'll reprint that as an actual file, just the way that it is, and it'll resource that directly without having to index the clip, cut, and edit information, so which makes it super easy. But now that we've done that, it makes it easy for us as well. The cool part about this is, see where it says interleaved up there? You guys had set interleaved sessions before when you created your new sessions in the past. What did interleaved mean? Anybody remember? Okay, yeah, so it's multiple channels. It combines it into one file. When it's interleaved, it can be used, like stereo tracks get to be one track. 5.1 tracks get to be one track instead of being 2 tracks or 6 tracks. The interleaved option being selected here means that if you consolidate anybody with an interleaved option on, then it actually puts it to print as one file for the interleaved group. So like if you started out with a non-interleaved group, or even if you took these mono tracks and moved them to both individually, moved them to one stereo track, and when you print these or consolidate them, they now become interleaved, which is awesome. So that's the reason you may want to do consolidation. 1, for DSP and the ability to move around, and 2, in the event that you want to just jam stuff in an interleaved file, you just assign them in that way. So if I wanted to make a 7.1 interleaved, I could just hit Command-Shift-N, make a new 7.1 track, throw 8 tracks into it, and then hit interleaved, and it becomes one file. So that may be one cool option for you. Now going to Audio Suite, because now we're ready to go to the Audio Suite. So here's what happens. In your notes under Audio Suite, I want you to just write this. Audio Suite these are rendered plugins, okay? So this is the rendered version of plugins. With rendered plugins, you unfortunately don't have the ability to do certain things. So rendered plugins actually limit your ability in some ways, but they also make your abilities awesome in others. So in most cases, we haven't really talked a ton about plugins. We used a lot the virtual instrument plugins, but plugins essentially are these digital, logarithmic, mathematical equations that happen behind the scenes in the form of software scripts that are designed to emulate other devices. So a plugin oftentimes will be an EQ, and it just emulates the processing of an EQ. It's still software-based, where we use the Boom. It was essentially a sample playback engine with a step sequencer, and it was a virtual instrument, but essentially all it is a software patch that gets put into the plug-in lane. Well, plugins, in most cases, when we're used to seeing them over here, like that's where these inserts are. Essentially, these inserts are your plugin. So when I open up a plugin here, these plugins that I apply to the mix window are all live in real time, which means I can modify them as I go, and I can even automate them as I go. But the way we use the Audio Suite is essentially is a rendered form of plugin, which means it's not live. The benefit of that is you can do really cool special effects and actually print them to the clip. And that's essentially, you have to render them to the clip. You can't, as soon as you set it up, close the window and you lose it. Unless you save that setting. So like ideally, it becomes very beneficial for people who work in post audio for film and TV, because when they're making sound effects, they may have one track that has a 30-minute sequence, and they don't want to stack a plugin on here in the live form to keep all of, each particular section set to sound differently. So let's just say on one track, that whole track is just sound effects of maybe a rainstorm or something to that effect. For every time they want to cue that or use that in this 30-minute segment, they may go, well, but this rain is supposed to sound different from this rain, so putting it on the same track doesn't make sense, because if I EQ it live on the same track, it's all kind of sound the same. Well, what they do is they'll stack them on the same track, but they'll use the Audio Suite and print different versions of their processing directly to the clip so that they don't have to worry about having them all sound the same. And in the big picture, we in audio for music, we like to use this for special effects. So I'm going to show you some really easy special effect options that we can do with the stuff that we already have in this session. So let's look at the audio suite. And I'll just say this. The plugin list that you see here is different than the plugin list that you see. Where's my stereo, guys? This is a mono track. Where is it? Oh, that's right. Everybody's mono in this session, aren't they? Okay, it is different than the plugin list that you'll see in a stereo track, but it's also different than what you see in the audio suite. So the audio suite is a menu item up at the top, and you're able to just pluck out one of these items. Here's the catch. The audio suite only gets previewed and rendered to the clip that you select. So what I would like for you to do real quick is go ahead and go to, we can start at the beginning to make this easy. Let's see, I think the snares might sound best if we do them in the drum group. And Miles, I'll come check up on your situation with output there. Let's see, snare. Okay, there's a snare hit on, we go to bars and beats, bar 2, beat 2. Please highlight bar 2, beat 2, just that quarter note for the snare. Sounds like this in the first group of drums. And Miles, I think we might have to bump you down to maybe the next group of drums if we have access to that. Oh, you're so good. Well, actually, just slide over for just a second. Sorry, just give me one moment. I'm just going to try to get this real quickly resolved. I switched it back to the version 1 in this session, which seems like it did fine. Oh, yeah, that's because I rendered I committed the, that's what happens when you commit the elastic audio.
So I committed to
Yeah, I don't know if it just didn't react correctly. Okay, so here's where we are. All right, so everybody's highlighted bar 2, V2, right? Oh, you're just, I think is your grid okay? Well, your grid's in quarter note. Yeah, your grid's in quarter note. It's just your quarter note's long because you're zoomed in very tightly. So you have to, when you click it, make sure you go all the way over here because otherwise it's not taking. Yeah, here you go. Okay, so we're all in, and we have to just be careful which parts we pick up, but if everybody's highlighted here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the audio suite, and we're going to look at this little fun guy. The audio suite, again, it's a little different. We could do EQing and all that stuff, but there's a couple things that it has that it only has that are not available in the live version real-time of these plugins. One of my favorite easy ones, if you go to the other category, is called reverse. And, of course, we choose a nice snare in order to do this. So when you open this up, what you'll see is there are options for the audio suite. There's a preview, and then there's the render. Once you render, it goes to print. You can undo it, but it will still catalog it in the index. There's some options for if we want to create continuous files or if we want to create individual files. If we had left this all cut up and we did a long range, we could say create individual files, and it would keep them separated. Otherwise, it would do it in one group. And then this section here, entire selection or clip by clip, just asking how it wants it to be reversed. If we wanted to reverse it clip by clip, we could do a bunch of clips at once and just say clip by clip. But check this out. That's essentially what's going to happen here. So if you hit render, if you preview it, hit render, put your headphones on and push play. You can go, after you've highlighted that, go to audio suite, go to other, go to reverse, hit render, and preview it. Audio suite's up top of the menu. So if you haven't found audio suite, it's up top of the menu system. Just go to audio suite, other, reverse. Kylie, are you hearing yours? Audio is like, is there something with the audio out? Should be able to play now. All right, everybody's done that, right? Pretty easy, right? Now this can be really cool for a lot of reasons, but let me show you something else while we're here, okay? I'm going to jump down to the guitar parts. And I know we only have a few more minutes, so I'm going to jump down to the guitar parts. Bar 3, beat 1. I think I might take the whole bar. Let's see. Bar 3, beat 1 to bar 4, beat 1. Let's take a listen to the guitars. I took the first group of guitars, by the way. So you can hear what pitch these are at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Audio Suite Pitch Shift. There's a couple of pitch versions that we can use. I'm going to use pitch 2. Now, you hear what it sounds like now. If I go ahead and hit preview over here, it's just this little speaker icon. I get to actually change where my pitch is here. I'm going to make sure my mix is at 100%. I can leave my delay and my feedback the way they are. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to shift the overall. You could do it in this finer course, which will give you pitch by pitch. You can also choose so let's just say I want to do just a couple steps up. Go ahead and render it. So obviously you can hear the original. If you go into your pitch shifter, all you have to do is go to Audio Suite, Pitch Shift, and choose Pitch 2. Now, because of time, I'm going to show you this. We're not going to have as much time to screw around with it today, but we're going to pick up on where we leave off on Monday. I'm going to go back. We had done a session where we recorded some voiceovers. You guys remember that? I don't remember what class day that was. Let's find it. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going to jump into this one real quick. Now, obviously, pitch shifting can be more fun when there's a dialogue involved. So let me jump to this.
Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools.
And a little bit of pitch shift.
Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools. Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools. Steps for recording audio. Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools. Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools. Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools. Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools.
Steps for recording audio into Pro Tools.
So obviously, you know, it's very interesting, but this is where you guys have all seen things like Star Wars and a lot of those kinds of movies that have drastic pitch adjustments for people's voices. You know, and this is where all that mod kind of stuff really comes from, heart and soul. You can do a lot of this in Pro Tools live, or you can do a lot of it in the Audio Suite, which allows you to put it to print. The coolest part is because I put that to print, I can go back and re-render it into some other form and just kick the snot out of it in terms of its sound. So let's take a look. right? Because I just did it once. I'm going to do it a second time. Let's give it a little reverse. Now, I don't know if they in the mod. There's a little sci-fi mod here. Let's see. You know, now all of a sudden I'm creating some sort of alien language, right? You kind of see the benefits of being able to mod that stuff where you can put it to print versus keeping it in real time. Now, obviously, because of time, I have to let you go. I will say for anybody who needs to move stuff over to the server, please get that done again today so I get grades in for Monday and let you guys know where you stand. Other than that, we should be pretty good. Any questions? No? You guys did pretty well today. Everybody signed in. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Forget, when is spring break? Is it not for another couple weeks?
That's in April.
Oh, okay, so not yet. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for that, just to make sure I remember that we're not meeting on that particular week. But awesome job today, guys. I will see you very soon on Monday. Cool? Enjoy your weekend.
I get this, could y'all figure out this, this file transfer thing?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, so I did a few lessons on this computer right here, but, when I went on to go transfer the other day, I couldn't find any of the work.
Open it up again real quick then.
Oh yeah, same for me. Like I've used a couple different computers. So like, which ones do I need to send to you?
I'd give them all to me, actually. Yeah,